Alright, Easy Robot. This is Josh Starnes. I'm playing with the QR codes. Do have a regular size QR code here, which it is functioning, but problem is I was only able to get to about 3 feet, which was about right here. Okay, and you can see here that that is registering. Alright. I can get lined up in the camera, that is. There we go. Alright, and well, the grid lines is kind of keeping it from reading. Anyway, I was able to get this about 3 feet away from the floor, and then that happened. Alright, so the QR code fell off the ceiling. I'll stick it right back up there, I guess. Alright, back in business. Now you can see here that it's not even perfectly lined up, but it's still reading. And we can kind of move these bars around a little bit and narrow it. Now what I was thinking about doing is putting a blinder, basically just a small tube around the camera. And I'm not completely sure I'm going to do that. The reason why is because it does adjust the contrast for the area. I'm going to turn the flash off here. It does adjust the contrast of the QR code area based off the area around it. If you notice my illuminator that I'm using, I'm going to zoom this in just a little bit. There we go. The illuminator that I'm using, it's a 1 watt LED. Alright, now I'm going to make it smaller. And when I make it smaller, it kind of freaks out. And all I did was just narrow the diaphragm. It's not any brighter. But what happens is it auto adjusts based off the area around it, the contrast, and tries to level out the white. And that kind of messes everything up. So I'm thinking about not putting the blinder on it just because of these tests, just playing with the 1 watt LED. Let me just open up the diaphragm here, and now it's big. So it adjusts much better when it's bigger. It reads much better when it's about right here, which is as equal as it gets. It's at this point, if I adjust the focus just right, I'm able to get it to consistently read. That scared the hell out of me. The code keeps falling off the ceiling. Anyways, you were seeing it was reading, and when I get it just right, I'm able to get this large code here to read very well. I'm going to turn the flash back on, show you just how big this is. And back out here. Alright, so I just want to show you the original versus the other. Alright, I blew up one. The one on the right was made with Easy Robot's QR code, okay, and this is one I literally just copied and pasted into Paint and stretched it. It's not perfect. It's not perfectly square. It's actually elongated a little bit. You can tell that in comparison. All right, but at 8 feet, it was still able to read. There is a little bit of error correction apparently with it, and it's also at a slight angle. Not much, but just a little bit. I wanted to kind of simulate the situation it would be on the robot where it may not be perfectly lined up because the head might be tilted just a little bit off, something like that. So I want to still be able to read. And after making it much larger, this was able to read much better. And I believe I have one that's even bigger. Ah, here it is. Alright. Here's the one that's even bigger. Okay. This is a custom made one. So we got Easy Robot, blown up Easy Robot, and then this is a custom made one. Now this is not a single letter QR code like it was recommended. The reason why I'm not doing that is because if I do this grid like I'm talking about, I'm going to have like a dozen or so, if not more, of these QR codes throughout the house so it can identify each side of the room, center of the room, stuff like that. So it's going to be necessary for me to have multiples. What I'm going to do real quick, I'm going to go ahead and stick up this very large code. You'll see how much better it is able to stick than all the other ones were. Bear with me for just a second. You might even want to skip forward maybe about 20 seconds while I'm sticking this on the ceiling. You get to see an awesome angle of me from the floor. So just going to try to line this up here. Yeah, I did that wrong. I'm using black electrical tape. Really, it's the worst tape in the world to use for this, but I ran out of all my other tape, so this is what we got to work with right now. I don't want to run out to the store. All right, so let me just line this up, kind of, sort of. All right, I'm gonna leave that edge hanging right there. That's just going to add some difficulty for it reading. That way it's close, but it's not perfect, okay? And you'll notice, even with the edge hanging, it is able to read it. I'm gonna turn the flash off. It is able to read fine. You'll see it blinks 1,000, 2, 1,000, 1,000, 2, 1,000. Every 2 seconds, it reads the QR code at this size, which is 600 frames by 600 frames. It's gonna drop on my head again, look at that. I hate it when it does that. All right, yeah, look at that, fell again. Anyway, so I'm gonna go ahead and post this real quick. I'm gonna measure it real quick. I believe it's 8 feet, but this is really good news because this means even a robot completely on the floor will be able to see the ceiling with an IR illuminator. Now, I'm not going to use this. I'm going to use IR, which is probably going to give it a purple hue, but honestly, I use this particular illuminator because it already had a blue hue to it to begin with. It looks really pretty on the cell phone because it favors blue, but I want to kind of create a real world situation for it. I'm going to go ahead and post this real quick and update it. Again, we're just going to show you the QR code sizes that I've kind of changed around. This one's a standard one. You can see that at about 3 feet. You can see this at about 4 feet. And you're able to see this at about 8 feet reliably.